up and down. I have AT&T's lead tech support guy. I have his cell phone number. That's how often.
It's happened.
Yeah,
okay,
like.
So if that happens.
So the only thing we can do when that happens is start the feed over and say I'm sorry.
Alright, hopefully this will stay longer. Sorry about that, y'all.
This is why we're moving our feeds up in the day. Probably going to start going at 6:30. Because every time we do an 8 o'clock feed, we have connectivity issues.
Connectivity.
And I'm pretty sure it's just an overloaded network. So typically when that happens, I get a whole bunch of texts from my awesome mods, because if I'm working, I'm not looking at the chat, so then I get like ping, 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 ping.
Got your back?
They do. I have the best mods. So I don't know if you guys caught it, but I am using Passion Base Cell White from Color Passion, Bright Yellow from Just Resin, Fire Engine Red from Color Passion, and this is Plum from Just Resin. I love Plum. It's an awesome color. I don't know why that's open still. So we also do one-on-one classes with people, like on Skype. I have one coming up next week, so that I can see what people are doing if they're having problems with. Like, I want to do an ocean, it's not working, but then I can see what they're doing and demo as they're doing it.
Yeah.
So that's our color palette. I am going to switch gloves so I don't make a mess. Oh, thanks.
Delivery's on here.
Just hand me gloves.
Yep.
Tired forever.
Sorry about that. I forgot. I was like, are they speaking or are they not speaking? I forgot to pop the chat out.
Okay. So since we want our negative space on the outside, we're going to add most of the resin there. We just need to keep some ounces for the flood coat for the other piece. Whenever I do heavy negative space pieces, I do a thicker, clear base, because I like to see the colors float against the negative background. It creates a shadow and depth that you would only otherwise get from doing multiple layers.
D-R-I-A. Say that name. D-R-I-A.
Drea?
Drea?
Or D-R-I-E.
Dre?
Dre?
Hey, first time catching alive. That person
Welcome.
said it. They are first
Anyone else
timers.
first time? So we did my sister's dining room table, and in the comments of that video, someone the other day was like, it's laughable that you spread the resin around with your hands. You should watch a pro like STONECOAT and see how they do it. It's like, okay. Thanks for that tip. Also, when you're done. I was just like, thanks. I'm putting a little bit extra on this outside area because it's probably going to remain this as the only resin down here. And it's going to self-level, so I don't have to worry about making sure it's an even coat all the way. I guess I should have measured to see where the center was. Also, that doesn't really matter. So we got the cats fixed today, and we let Pugsley out because he was meowing.
Don't listen to the idiots.
Oh, I was like, why are you calling Kinsley an idiot?
Idiot 1, idiot. Wait a minute, what?
What? Okay, so next we're going to do the red. And we're going to do the purple. I'm not adding too much pigment because I want it to be blank down here so that we have that negative space. I'm putting white in between the colors because I should get cells that are layered on top of each other, so you should see rings of the different colors.
Well, it is raining today, babe, so
Well, I'm using a
remember,
base.
don't get your hopes up for...
No, I'm using a base, so it should be fine.
Okay.
Should be, in theory.
Thank you, Pamela. Maybe they need a Snickers. Dre, where are you from? Where are you from? And if you wouldn't mind letting us know how you heard about us, or where, or who.
How'd you get in?
How you get in here?
So, I can tell that if I had just a whole bunch of different pigments down, I could still tell which one was the cell because of how the white is getting cloudy on their edges, how it's interacting with the other ones. So if you had a whole bunch of different whites you were using and you wanted to narrow down which one was the base, you can always tell by
So was
How
this
it's
the base
acting.
right here? Or
Mhm.
it's all the same?
all of the whites are the base.
Okay.
And I'm going to use a big piece of paper to do this white, kind of like we did the other day on the wood piece. So I'm going to pull all the way down this way. Get that out of the way. Why do I get nervous? Okay. Okay, wait. Okay, go. So I'm just letting some of the paint soak up into the paper. I'm slowly dragging it so that it has time to pick up and redistribute the paint as we go down the piece. If I were to go really fast, it would just skip along. That's fun. Well,
Nailed it.
JK on that. Definitely nailed it.
Alabama, and you guys just popped up as a recommendation video. I've heard your name said in several videos of other people. Been a sub for a while, just first time chatting. Ah, right on.
Thanks. So when I do this, I don't add any pressure. I just let the gravity of the paper do what it's doing.
Paula Larson says, are the colors that you poured, Erica, are also colored resin, or did you put something different like acrylic or something weird?
The pigment that's in the resin is all a resin pigment paste. You can use acrylics to do this, but I haven't used acrylics since I discovered the paste. It doesn't mean you can't use them. I just prefer to use the paste. It just works better for me. My purple
Where did the
has
plum go?
completely disappeared.
Sure did.
You can see it through these. So this is what I was talking about with the colored rings, how you can see the yellow and the red and the purple. This is because I put the white in between, and so it's dispersing on top of each other to give that ring look, because it's selling on top of the cell. If I would have just done it over,
So what if you put yellow and then white on there as a second pull? Do you think it would pull most of it off?
if I put another yellow and another white on there, it would probably just stretch the amount of yellow down the piece, which is
Right.
fine. We can do that. So we can definitely do that. But but that's what I was talking about, how the white is what's making the cells, but it's not the color of the cell. If I were to put the white on top and swiped it, it would just be white. It won't do anything.
Okay, I get it.
You will not get a white cell with a beige paste. It's not. Some of these are presenting right now as white underneath because we layered it that way. But it's still settling. As the resin self-levels, it'll create more cells. I mean, it's even popped up just since we started talking about it. So you want to do another yellow swipe? On this side?
Yeah, I think we can try that.
There's definitely a know when to stop with resin, but it's hard for me to find that point sometimes. Because I always want to experiment.
Who is in the house with you? Gonna get a lot of that.
Yeah.
This is Chris,
It's our brown
right? Almost. I almost stretched it the full way.
Kind of reminded me of wood. Yeah.
He is the latest addition to the ATD family here in the studio in the shop. I will show you. He's a real person.
This is what a Chris looks like.
This is what a Chris looks like.
What's up, guys?
He's awesome at resin. He does unique artwork. Check him out.
Oh, you're all right.
It's one thing I have to learn how to talk to people. I'm very just chill until you get me comfortable, then I won't stop talking.
Well,
But
That's
learn
good
real quick.
because
Man.
we need that.
we don't. We just ramble sometimes. So, in the time it took you to go over there and come back,
That's a lot.
just a little up. And I didn't think that I had any more color here, so I stopped the swipe so you can see the end, the stop. I should have pulled it the rest
So
of
would
the way.
you blow a little this way? or-
Yeah, I can melt it in, but ideally I would have just continued the swipe all the way down. So with some heat we can blend that in, and so it doesn't
Yeah.
look so obvious.
The ATD's backwards. Why is the ATD backwards? Can I
So,
just do this wrong?
did you do it upside down again?
I did it all backwards. How is it backwards?
Did you cut it like a sticker or like a decal?
I cut it like a sticker. I even flipped it.
So, do we want to do another pull on this side? Because this side used to be the star, and then we did this side. And it now looks better than.
How does it look on camera?
Oh, sorry here.
Love these ringed.
It's hard to. Kind of hard to see. We'll do full overhead.
This is what I refer to as webbing, because it doesn't really look, I guess it could also look like lace.
So in Spanish culture, this perfect one right there, semi, it's called the ojo, which is the eye. And it protects you from all evil.
We've got ojos. I love it. I'm just gonna call this an ojo piece. So, you can see it, I can't. Do we want to do this side over?
I think, yeah.
Or do we want to just pull bits of it out? Or do we want to do a full pull?
I think like a half pull would be good, because we got some good cells right there.
Okay.
Boy pants.
Purple just got eaten up.
He's alright.
I'm sure he's fine. I did catch him looking at stitches.
I'm gonna catch you looking at your stitches.
Yeah. Do you do anything with your drips?
I've made a costume out of it, a unconventional costume.
You made a costume out of your
did.
drips and runoff?
So I normally put just regular clear plastic where I can pull it off
Mm-hmm.
and just super glue it on top of an old blazer or something of that sort. And it was a DIY Halloween party.
You're crafty. I'm gonna have to see pictures of that.
Where can we see Chris's work at? Does he have a YouTube or something?
Just my Facebook. Hidden Motivations.
Such an awesome title.
So, Miss E, if I were to just send you a few $100, would you choose the best colors and items needed for a beginner in resin and send them to me? Trying to know what to get is hard.
Sure. So when people ask me about that, I usually recommend getting a large mystery box and putting in the comments that you want paints only and what colors you're mainly focusing on.
So I did it this way. The number 8 is ocho, and the letter A, ochoa. So in every art that I do, there's like a hidden message that I dare to tell anyone. But I'm always inspired by other people.
Great. Now I'm gonna have to go and like do a Where's Waldo into your artwork. Be like, I know there's something in here that I need to be seeing.
And it's more of people inspire me by stories, by
Booger Shay, thank you.
Ooh, that's fun.
That one's good. That's what I thought the first one would have done, but you can have
There's
an
that
idea,
purple.
and then resin's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Not today. Sadie.
Not today.
That's so beautiful.
Thanks, I planned that. So our first tour, no, our second tour in Australia was, the classes were all focused on swiping. It's all people wanted to learn.
So why Australia out of any other place?
We just had a big following.
Yeah.
They have all the best pigments. They like started the resin art game.
Sorry, I always forget how loud it is.
So now I feel like I need one of these Over
on this
here,
side.
initially I didn't like this split right here, but I think it's visually interesting, so I think I'm gonna do a pull like that on this side. But I like these cells, so I'm very torn right now. Fam,
I'm loving
what do you
this
think?
side.
Mm,
Hey, there's that purple that you're looking for.
and here I thought we had lost it. Fam, what do you guys think I should do?
Let me zoom in on that so I can see it.
So if you hit it with this, will it speed up the process of cells
It could.
from your experience?
It could. The reason why I don't usually use a torch,
Is each mystery box different? I ordered one a few days ago. If I order another one, will it be different stuff or the same stuff each time?
I fill them to order.
100% different.
They are no two have ever been the
And
same.
somebody was asking about our orders that were placed last week backed up.
They shouldn't be.
Yeah.
Shoot me a text and I'll check on that for you in the morning. Just send me your order number and I'll find out what's up with it. I don't use a torch when I'm using base pigments. Bowie!
Well,
can't play
that
with him
cat
right now.
will. He'll run away.
That's a lot of heat.
He's like,
And
he was just here.
you don't want to thin out the resin too much.
Or
When
else it
you-
bubbles up.
Yeah, it could bubble up, and also the more heat you add, the thinner it gets. So the thinner your resin is, the less crisp your cells will be. They'll kind of get cloudy, or these have a rigid structure. If I added a lot of heat, they would be softer, and I like the look of this like definite bold cell as opposed to like.
Get
See
shipment
this right
notification
here,
from last
just
week, but
hazy. That's what they would look like all over. Just because that's a very much more intense heat. Did they say if I should do another pull on this side?
they didn't say. Put more purple on the other side of your first swipe. On the right, swipe again. Add more purple on the other side of your first swipe. On the right, swipe again.
Purple. No, I thought that was a cat. So every time I'm putting the base that gives me the cells on whatever side I'm swiping to. So since I'm going this way, I have it on the right side so that it ends up on the bottom.
Somebody says, if you rotate that, Rachel S. says, if you rotate that, it would look like an ocean at a sunset. Like an ocean
We got one
at
view.
sunset.
One for you, right?
Right?
Should we do that on this side as well?
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this and evaluate it.
Bowie, okay. Bowie, that's enough.
I'm still pulling from the yellow
That's enough.
first to keep
Bowie,
it
slow down.
on topish.
That's enough. Stop. Stop. I know it. I know. You gotta slow down. You can't play right now, okay? You can't play right now. Just like, look at your brother. He doesn't feel good either.
Some of that purple showed up.
You can't play right now, okay? You just can't play. So just nothing.
So
Like
Like-
heat it and then blow it up into the, like use the blower up into that yellow.
use the blower up in the yellow.
Mm. Yeah, just settle down, boy pants.
So that's Cujo and his cough. This is what I call cauliflower cells. I don't know why it's showing up on this piece. So see how these are rigid
Yeah.
and these are kind of like hazy in the center? They're cloudy. That's usually from adding too much of the base into your resin. But I haven't adjusted the formula since adding this, so I have no idea why it's showing up here as opposed to everywhere else.
Bowie, be sweet.
Always like, I haven't had my friend all day.
Bowie's like, what are you Bowie! Now he's like sniffing at the back end. Gotta run, y'all. Have a great night. Nice to meet you, Chris. See the rest later. That would be Gina. See you later, Gina. Thanks for showing up.
Bye, Gina.
Well,
That's one of my favorite techniques that you've done. Using the ends to pull it all the
to
way
trail
out.
it,
Mhm.
yeah. I learned that the hard way after like having so many where I had those blunt stops.
Mhm.
I was like, dude, okay.
Dre says, my dog has a heart condition and coughs like that too. Mastiff Shar-Pei mix. If you haven't tried Sotalo, LOL, SOTALOL. Ask your vet. He hardly coughs at all anymore.
Thank you for that information because
SOTALOL.
write that down.
Maybe that's for like big dogs.
I don't know. He's on vetmidin, spironolactone, furosemide, and torbitrol. And I only know how to say any of those because I had to go pick them up today. Like tomorrow, I'd be like, I don't know. One starts with a T. I like that we broke up the paper so it has this different.
Is that purple in there, or is there no purple? Did you not? I thought I saw you put it in
I
there.
added purple, but I swiped from the yellow since the center's yellow. I guess I could do
It just looks. It looks like there's like. It looks crazy. Like there's no.
like I could do
Maybe little areas of purple.
yeah. I'm gonna do a partial right here. I'm gonna start one in the purple and one in the yellow. Kind of like force it to show.
See, babe, my dyslexia.
Mm-hmm.
It does that to doing this now. If I have to flip it for a heat press, I don't flip it for a sticker. But if I've been doing it, then I think, okay, I need to flip it for a sticker because you're picking it up, putting it down. And then it just starts to get back and forth, and then I have to mess it up to understand which way to do it.
Right.
It's terrible.
Do you use the black side?
So when I use butcher paper, it's all the
Okay.
same.
What do
But
you
I
use?
usually do use
What's
this,
this?
this shy. I don't want to know.
Thank you, Emma. Have a good night. Kim Crow says, I feel like this piece needs purple.
Okay.
Pull your camera down. It's like 20 feet in the air that people can't see it.
Oh, it was my arm. I set it up.
No, that's all right.
I always set my camera high.
And I have it zoomed in too, so.
Just wrap that around. Can they see anything?
Maybe more.
Yeah, they can see. So.
Break it like we did.
Do the right towards you. No, it's way too much.
Right there.
And then maybe pick it up. Well, you want to be able to see the middle, right? Like the end is.
Yeah, that's.
You can just go for a ride.
So let's do that. We'll do some partial swipes.
Hello, Linda. How are you? Welcome. This
Welcome.
evening.
So I'm gonna do a dip swipe. I'm just gonna add
Dip swipe.
some purple to this.
Babe, what's a dip swipe? Let's see, let's bring it down.
Sounds like it's trying to mix, like it's trying to do some scratch. Your vinyl cutter.
The broadband dial.
Right. Oh my goodness, it is like broadband.
That was super fun there.
So I'm only putting the resin on partial so that the yellow picks up on this part. I'm kind of going faster on these because I want it to split and jump and break towards the end. My artwork is basically never done. Always come up with some
So
other
much room.
idea. Never done it before.
Reminder to like. Thank you.
If you were to do the spray of alcohol in the middle, what would that really mess it up?
It wouldn't mess it up, but it would create a lot more cells. It would split it a little bit. I'm thinking about adding holes of gold. So this part looks a little bit too balanced because it's like even.
You know what we didn't do with Chris? Fireball shot, newbies.
This is a fireball painting.
It
There you
is.
go.
It's a straight up fireball piece.
So typically when we have a new guest on the show, we're like, okay, you have to take a shot with us because that's how
Whenever we have a new guest or if we're somewhere new. So we spoke at the
art convention in
the
Vegas.
convention in Vegas, and
Mhm.
we had nothing planned. So I was like, let's just make it like a live. So I went and bought a bottle of Fireball and like 20 shot glasses and invited all our regulars up on the stage to beginning of our speech and just
Yeah.
had them all take a shot of Fireball.
Yeah, it's been years since I've done fireball.
Uh
Vegas
oh.
bombs, Rumplemans with a press of Sprite.
Are you not a drinker ananymore? You stopped drinking?
He drinks
I don't
wine.
have
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
Nothing
Well,
against it.
I just want to make sure.
So he's asking if you would you turn down a shot of
I-
Fireball.
Not in front of everyone.
Nope.
I'm a team player.
Especially, we have a red from Australia named ATD Fireball, a
Yeah.
paste.
One of our colors is called ATV Fireball.
That's
Yeah.
all.
No pressure. I mean, it's not a big deal and all, but it's
Well, it's not gonna pour itself.
right.
It's true, but you sound
It's
like
true.
it's down.
I know. I just, you know.
Why would I do a turquoise? Would that just be?
So turquoise,
Is it very New Mexico themed?
would you do a bright turquoise or a
Bright
deep
turquoise. Yeah. Not deep. It's way too dark. What would you do?
I would drink a White Claw. Do you want anything else on that?
Surprise me.
I think he knows it's called that in there too.
Oh, that one's really pretty. Yeah, it would hit really.
We can add a turquoise for sure. This is a gloss spray paint. This one here. So we can add a line with this and see what it looks like.
Would
Oh.
get muddy.
So we're putting it on with, I'm gonna put it on raw spray paint style, kind of like I did the wood.
Yeah.
And because we're not really manipulating it that much with heat, it won't get muddy. It would get muddy if we did a whole bunch of like tilting and
That's
yeah. If we did a whole bunch of different kind of manipulation, it would get muddy. So I'm gonna swipe over and next to this so that it doesn't look like it's an afterthought, even though
I
it
just grabbed two
doesn't
of
look
these
that
and they're
bad.
both just so happen to be the same thing, and I don't know what they are. So, raspberry lime. I don't know. I apologize if that.
He said I apologize if it's bad.
cheers.
Okay. We'll also mix a little bit into the resin so we can see what it looks like. So this is a plastic cup and you never really want to spray paint into plastic. If you've never had resin and spray
Get you
paint
ATD shot glass as well.
eat through plastic, it's not a fun time.
All right, and the fans love to see Erica's fireball face.
I gotta bring up fireball please.
I've got a trick for that.
Pretty funny.
Take the shot and breathe out.
Okay.
And don't touch your tongue to the roof of your mouth. Look at that, babe. That looks awesome.
It's all crisp. I was like, no, it's gonna. And he was like, would it look too Mexican blankety? I was like, Jeff
Of course it
is
would. That'd be awesome.
an absolute fan of Mexican blanket.
Get in there. With your. Whoa, Bowie pants.
Don't know how far it is.
Cut
There
on
you
there.
good. Cheers
Cheers
to the
fan.
newbie.
Bottoms up.
He said.
How do you breathe out with it in your mouth?
Swallow it first.
That's what she said.
That made my ears warm. I got a lot of ear. Do you want to see something crazy?
Yeah, look at those
There
ears.
you go.
So during our fire sale, I know why I like this because it's red and aqua together. During our fire sales, if I get like a desperate moment where I'm like, okay, no one's bought anything in a little while, I will take a shot of Fireball for every $200 painting sold. Last fire sale we did, I was smashed. by the end of it.
Love to see that fireball face.
Okay. So now let's incorporate it a little bit. Alright. Chris, you have awesome ideas, because I definitely would have been like,
You know, it's nice to have like an outsider that uses different colors than we do.
You're just being
that
nice,
has
guys.
a little different.
You're not just being nice. So this paint would
If
have
it would have been a bad
red,
color,
then
I would have been like, all right, you got technical. Oh no, we didn't go live. Oh no, it's shut off again.
kill the
A
feed.
force.
Kill the feed.
Force kill.
So next time you come over, we're just gonna have a Chris paints for ATV.
Oh, Susan Campbell likes the what was the fire sale sound? Aquaman fire sound. Fire sale sound.
So I'm just swiping through these colors a little bit to make them look not like an afterthought. I want them to look like they're kind of peeking through. Even though that was absolutely an afterthought. However, that being said, Chris definitely said do a turquoise as well in the very beginning when we were talking about colors, and
Oh, that is right.
I failed to do it. But now I know. This is Color Genius. So if you haven't gone to check his channel out, I don't know what you're doing with yourself.
He has a channel?
Not yet.
Oh.
Not channel.
I'm just Facebook,
Insta?
my Instagram, yes. My Insta, you guys can catch me at J as in Jesus, C as in Chris,
J as in Jesus, C as in Christ.
O N as in Nancy, D S 008 007.
How many of you
I
have
have
your
two of
Insta?
them. Let's see. I'm so sorry, guys.
I mess
It's
things
covered.
up on the channel all the time.
Oh, found it.
Oh,
Someone trying to locate you?
he is.
Oh, I was trying to find it.
No more fireball for you, bud.
Jake. Now I really like this aqua in here. I'm like, where else can I put it?
Okay, so back to my Instagram, JCONDS008 would be how to reach me.
Babe, and you're like right in the camera, so if you want to speak to the people,
With this camera?
yeah. Don't be a creep.
I'm so good at it.
You are.
I'm like the
She did it the
best.
other night. She was just a little wine drunk, and she's like, "Hey, what's up?" I'm like, "What?
I have
What
a
are
fun
you?" And she's
story
like,
about how
"I'm
we
just
first
being
met.
creepy." I'm like, "All right, cool." Cool
I'm
story.
digging it. I like the breaks of the turquoise.
Were you going to put gold next to the turquoise?
Oh, I forgot. See, this is when I needed Chris in my life. Alright, you guys, it's gonna be liquid gold.
So much fun.
My eyes, for some reason, when I get over here, they just start getting fuzzy, like my contacts. Like, I don't know if it's the light or I know we didn't do any spray painting.
I did.
Oh, well, maybe
just-
that's it.
Use this aqua, this seagrass. So what do you guys think about the turquoise that we added?
I don't think that's a common color that people use.
What?
Or is it? Turquoise?
That is way common.
It is?
What's Chris' Facebook page again? Let me type it in. Do you know it, mister?
Yep.
What is it?
Facebook, CRIS
CRIS
space J.
space or underscore space?
No, that they said Facebook, correct?
Here, you do that.
Yeah.
So we're not doing stripes of gold because when I was shaking it,
It's already up there,
Okay.
Chris.
it splattered on the piece. So we're doing dots of gold, which I'm okay with. Done, son.
There we go.
So when I was shaking the gold, I had an accident,
Yeah.
and it gave me these. So then I was like, well, I guess we're going with dots instead of stripes.
Oh, yeah.
So now it's
Actually, that's pretty fun.
now I'm a fan.
So how did you make this happy mistake? Oh. Now I can steal
You
that.
can't. I welcome people to steal everything that I do on the channel. All right,
I
you
mean
guys.
borrow, sorry.
Artistically licensed.
Hey, that looks awesome.
Thanks. Me and Chris made it.
And if anybody's interested, it's for sale.
Tis. Now I gotta do a flood coat.
For sale.
Golly.
Full solid. Trying to bring up the one that I did that inspired me about those colors. And it looks like a heart with chambers.
Heart with chambers.
You know, like the human heart
Ah.
and then all the bells. My sister has that, and she's a pharmaceutical. She's actually a family nurse practitioner.
Oh, nice.
So, there's not one family member that doesn't have a painting.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm gonna try on all you guys first.
It is kind of the best way. Just be like, all right, I'm starting this. Please don't tell me what you really feel. Just tell me what you would say if I was 4 years old doing this. I want a 4-year-old reaction. That's what I want.
Well, my first thing was, how much would you pay for this, and can you pay me right now? So I got money for it.
All right, so she's gonna do a.
We'll do a flood coat real quick. What did we name them?
Ooh,
Cecil?
I don't know. The seahorse?
No.
I don't know. Did we?
I think it was something like Cecil's. Can't remember.
So this is what I was inspired by, even though they were darker colors.
I'm a fan of aqua and red every time.
I think I showed you this one, right?
Mm-hmm. Love it. So you guys, this is what Cecil looks like thus
Oh, yeah.
far.
And that was just the code for, and then I went in and had.
As
Oh,
you
yeah.
can see, he looks
Very
amazing.
nice.
That variegated gold is amazing in this piece. That's why we have it out, Chris. That's why that
Okay.
one was here, because we did this one.
Yeah.
This is where we put the variegated gold. So that it didn't look like a stagnant gold.
Yeah.
That has some depth to it. This piece is still relatively soft.
Push it up a little bit, and then. Nope. There you go. Perfect.
So I'm not gonna. Here I am. Will you give me that same purple one? That purple one. Thank you. This is a 400 grit sandpaper. I'm going to use it to give the piece a little bit of tooth and knock down some of the raised areas from the glitter. First time I sanded a resin piece, I was like, what did I do? Because it scratches, you know, and then it gets off easy. All right, Truly. I'm just trying to knock off any high points. You could also use a 220, but the 400 was more handy. The crazy thing is when you sand a piece, it shows your errors even more. Like I can see even more little dots where I had high points. It just highlights all your errors. So sanding it is just going to give it a tooth for your second layer of resin to stick to, because plastic doesn't stick to plastic very well, and essentially resin's just an expensive plastic. A very pretty and shiny expensive plastic though.
So would you always recommend hand sanding versus machine sanding?
For
No,
something like this,
for an art piece, you really want to just take your time and just lightly with a hand sander, a palm sander.
Yeah.
It's easy, real easy to be going over it, and you get an edge, and it'll just bare wood, and then you gotta paint it, fix it, put more red. Like, just take your time and
it's more goof proof this way.
yeah.
So I'm wiping it down with some alcohol. This is just getting any of the sanding dust off. Also, when you're working with alcohol, resin, or sanding anything, or spray paint, everything I did today, wear a respirator. We're in a well-ventilated space, so I'm not, but do as I say, not as I do, etc. Ever since we saw
Stuttering
Split,
Stanley.
we can't not say etc.
It's just funny because he says it so often, and then you just listen to why he's saying it, and you're like, how did he come up? Like, did the director come up with that, or did he like, just let me say it whenever I want to say it as this character?
Who's that awesome movie? So I've had this resin sitting in that bucket for, how long have we been live, B?
Minus the first one, 53 minutes.
So it's been sitting in a bucket of 16 ounces for an hour. And most resins would have been a solid puff by now. This resin is warm, but by no means is it to the point where it's not workable. Okay. You can see it's kind of thick. But I can hit it with some heat and get it to move. If this was some of the resins that we first started using when we first started doing resin,
Would have already been set up easily.
we'd have had a lovely paperweight. Not all of them.
Let's try.
I probably shouldn't have let this set in a bucket for that long. It's a very risky game doing that. Sometimes you have to risk it for this. Okay. I'll smooth this out some and hit it with some heat and then finish it off. Anybody have any questions, B?
Everybody was pretty much talking amongst themselves. Unlucky little girl. One lucky little girl to grow up with the ATD original.
Yeah. This is commissioned for a little girl's room. I was like, dang, my mom never got me fine art.
Is
Yeah.
this little
There's some specks. There's a couple hairs.
Can you donate through YouTube? Trisha Whistler. How do you do that? Isn't there like a money sign if you type in a money sign?
I don't know about that, but it's been a minute since I've done Super Chat, but if you are, well, if you're typing on here, then you can.
Will you, where's that? Do you have any, get that archival right here next to the green bottle? The teal colored?
this?
No.
This one.
And show it to the camera if you can. This is the best stuff to use to seal. There you go. It's UV Archival by Krylon.
Am I good?
That's good, yeah. You're good, thank you. Ron wants to know, do you sign it before you can flood it? You can if you want, and that would guarantee that your signature would always be there, but it's rare unless we do a piece and we sign it and then somebody wants to flood coat it. YouTube takes 30%. PalPay will probably get more of the money. You will probably get more. Yeah, I mean, you can, if you want to, let's see, what do we do? How do we do? Donations. We have, you can donate through PayPal or Venmo. I'm going to put this paper up. I'm going to put this picture up. Right here up in the right hand corner. It says for emails, PayPal, and donations, you can do PayPal, which is Thornton@artisttilldeath.com, or Venmo at artisttilldeath. And we appreciate all of that. We love it. We thank you. Everything goes back into the channel so that we can continue to do this for you guys for free every day.
Technically, I was using a lot of heat for a flood coat, but it's just going to run into the moat that we have around the piece.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about it going anywhere. And
Is it me or towards you? Okay.
And thank you, Valerie.
that was in the first layer. That's in there forever. Since the resin had set up a little bit, because I left it in that bucket, I wanted to, it takes a little bit more heat to pop the bubbles once it gets to that setup point. Now I'm just evening out how much resin is in the moat here.
So for runoffs like this, do you usually clean it off or do you sand it off?
On the side,
Yeah.
so we'll sand that off.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm very not concerned about the edges of my resin art because we'll sand it down flat and then we'll paint it
Okay.
an accent
You're welcome,
color
Trisha, and thank you.
for some color that's represented on the piece.
Thank
so
you,
for this,
Jen.
I painted the aqua color that it
Yeah.
is on the side. We'll tape off the front so that nothing gets on it. So I'm gonna do a once over with the heat again since I have all the resin where I want it at this point. and because the longer your resin sets, the more the bubbles that are in it will rise to the surface. Because as it starts to set up, it's going to try to expel or push out anything. So the bubbles are going to rise to the surface as it sets. So I'll probably revisit it in a couple hours while it's in the dust-free zone to pop more bubbles. It's a very common mistake to just hit it with a whole bunch of heat to try to get all the bubbles out, like right now.
Do we have Cash App?
Yes. But you're never going to get all the bubbles out right now. You're going to melt all your resin off before you get all the bubbles out.
What's our Cash App?
2 seconds. But if I can still see the bubbles popping and like the reflection of the light, then I'll still hit it with some heat. Like, it was getting warm. But now it's finished. So I'm gonna put Cecil up and then I'll get the Cash App
Cecil.
for you. This is Cecil the
Jeff,
seahorse.
if you need a way to keep your vinyl rolled up, try the snap bracelets. They are easy to remove and back. So what, but how would you put that on there? I don't understand. If you have a big roll of vinyl, I understand the snap bracelet, but I don't, that would be at the first. Or
Maybe like leftover pieces, small.
I think so, yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that info, Stacy. I guess I can change this. Are we done with this?
Yeah, you can change the camera. I just need to
All right, I
find
think we're
myself
done,
to
y'all.
do the Cash App.
So, if you guys haven't known, if you don't know.
I was about to ask you where can we get one of these awesome
Oh, Chris, would you like to know where we get these hats from? We got some hats today to be made. We have a new little guy. He's called Mr. ATD. And then we have a young lady, which somebody wanted a black logo on a camel hat, so I did it. And Cash App. What do you just read a Bauer?
No, it's at, I think, ATD.
Oh, money sign. Our Cash App is money sign ATD Studios. Let's see.
And that's actually a QR code that they can scan if you hold that up to them. They're probably watching from their phones. Boy Cat has a new best friend.
I will touch cats all day. I heard there's nothing
There's our
to-
Cash App, and you have to do the money sign.
You have to care for them that much. Some of
And if
them-
you guys want to hold the
Cats
Oh,
are
no,
super
that's not
simple
gonna
to
work.
care for.
we have just the ATD logo. ATD logo.
Any adult.
We have the new B ATD logo. And whoa, just chill.
Yeah, Pugsley found a new best friend. He's like, I'm cool here.
They're all on the website. We have blue caps, we have red caps. And if you would like a custom one, let us know. You can email or text us and we'll work it out.
See,
It's C.
JJ.
Tacos happen.
That's true. That's okay. What baby minute? We're not going yet. Relax.
All right. Well,
It's gonna end up in ball pit.
yes. Thank you all for showing up tonight and giving Chris a warm welcome to the ATD fam.
Put it on your splash thing you have up. Well, I'll get the splash remade so that Cash App's represented on there. What
Chill
baby?
cat, chill cat.
Thank you, Valerie.
I want to say hi, Pugs.
Yeah, happy kitty cat. He's like woozy. Look at him.
He's still a little bit high.
We took him to the chop shop today. We did like Bob Barker says, get your pet spayed or neutered. We've been looking up to old Bob for a while now, and now we just finally took his advice.
We barkered it.
Well, thank you, Trisha. We appreciate that. All right, you guys, thank you so much. And if you guys haven't heard, we have a Pour With Us class. It's basically a free class live here on our YouTube channel, September 25th at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Just buy the kit on our website, artistilldeath.com, Pour With Us, and it gives you everything you need to pour an amazing resin piece. And I think we're going to be doing some chameleon pieces with this one here. So Pour With Us, September 25th, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You have to buy the kit before the 17th to ensure that it gets delivered to you on time, unless you want to come pick it up. Or you can buy it and have it sent to you, but we can't promise it anything after the 17th because FedEx has issues with their delivery, so sometimes. So, I wish I could afford the Pour With Us kit. Well, Tara, we'll see what we can do. Trisha says bye, Chris, Jeff, and Erica.
Bye.
Okay, Cujo, you ready? You want to say goodbyes?
Ready to go? We'll go.
All right, be kind to one another. You never know what somebody's going through. You guys have an awesome Wednesday night, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.
I said bye.
my smile.